Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys. I'm your DM, Keith.
Josh.
Zenas.
And Brice.
And they're the characters. So, welcome back. Last episode.
I really think we should mention our characters' names whenever we do the
Yeah,
intro.
you could just say, I'm Arlo.
I'm
Grim.
Arlo. I'm Grim.
I'm Jack.
Yeah, there you go. In last episode, the whole episode was spent, they heard some gnolls in the woods chasing an owlbear, and they saved that owlbear's life instead of killing the owlbear. They also spared a gnoll. They could have killed them both, but one of the gnolls ran off, and that's really all that happened last episode.
I bit one in half.
Yeah, Arlo definitely bit one in half as he was a wolf boy. But that's really about all, and you guys made it into the town of Fark. You've parked your wagon, and it is being valeted for you away from the Gilded Gardener.
By an ostler.
Yeah, by an ostler.
As Josh explained last time.
Why have a wagon that has air brakes anytime we stop?
Awesome name on that inn, by the way. Where'd you come up with that?
That is an amazing inn.
Brice came up with the name of that inn because it's his hometown. I came up with the logo, though.
That's true.
Fair enough.
I mean, really, what's more important?
Very good out of the hat description you came up with as well.
A little off the dome action. What we got going on? We got some pictures.
That looks like a beautiful bed of barbecue.
Somebody from the wedding party had a bunch of barbecue catering left over that they have gifted to the family.
Wonderful. Wow. Yeah, our family runs a wedding venue, and a lot of times they get free food out of it. Very cool.
Duke's barbecue.
Duke's barbecue. If you're from the South Carolina Orangeburg area, you know one or two things about barbecue, and both of them are Duke's. Know what I'm saying? Okay, let's play D&D.
If you're listening and you're from Duke's Barbecue, we would greatly appreciate your sponsorship.
Yeah, we love some good sponsors from Duke's.
If that somehow came through.
Dungeon Boys, sponsored by Duke's Barbecue.
I would love that.
I would love that too. The only problem with internet sponsorships is that it's usually companies that are internet companies.
Yeah.
It's hard to get sponsored. Show that if all of our fans or whatever were in Washington State. They don't care much about Duke's Barbecue.
I know, but it would just be amazing as we're going around the table. It's like, all right, roll of perception. Pass me that banana pudding.
That sounds like a crit fail. It's time for the Duke's Barbecue Table of Failure. All right, let's play.
Saucy failure.
All right, yeah, we gotta
play D&D. I think that was a really funny intro, but we gotta play D&D. I love a good riff at the beginning. We gotta play. So you guys, when you landed at the Gilded Gardener, the wagon was being taken away. You hopped off, and you remembered a magic items merchant. One that you remember, his name is Phrygius, and you hear him calling out to the town, kind of the town square, saying, "Come and see my goods, everyone." And so Grim was headed off that way.
Yep.
Jack and Burb and Arlo are just hopping off the cart, I imagine, and Grim is kind of bounding away from them again.
Yep, I'm showing Burb how to properly park a wagon.
Burb says, "Thanks, Arlo."
Welcome, Burb.
"Come on, friend." He hops down and goes walking after Grim. Jack, what's up with you?
I'm heading off that way.
I'm dismount the cart and head that way as well.
Okay, so you guys approach Phrygius's. He just has a cart. He had kind of a canopy and everything last time. He seems to be he has a cart with him this time. And remember, I really kind of forgot what Phrygius looked like. Do you guys remember? I don't know if we described him.
I imagine him as being slightly shorter than Grim with
flamboyant,
brightly colored clothing.
Yeah,
he's a dwarf, right?
He does. He is a dwarf. He is a dwarf, I think, and he has brightly colored clothes. Yeah, we'll call him that. We'll say that's what Phrygius is. He can change his clothes, but I think he was a dwarf.
Can he?
Let's see.
Magic.
Yes, he's a dwarf. I think is what we decided. Either that or a gnome.
No, I don't think it was a gnome. I think it was a dwarf.
Okay, so goodness, my pen. My pen broke.
Yes, no, not sure.
There we go. No, we good. All right, so you are at Phrygius's cart. He says, "Well," that's the thing he said was, "Well, I remember your bald head from last time. It's good to see you. What was your name?"
Grim.
He reaches his hand across and does the shake where his hand is pointing directly down 90 degrees and gives you a shake.
I shake it enthusiastically.
"Welcome to my cart. Welcome to my cart. I see your friends are jumping up behind you. I remember your little gnome self and your freaky black dress self, my friend. It's good to see you both. Y'all really paid for my trip back over here." I appreciate that. Y'all bought a lot of my items last time.
You're very welcome.
That is no problem at all. What do you have this time?
Let me.
Well, first, let me give
Absolutely,
you
sir.
a little product review.
Okay.
I tried out this. What did I buy from him? I think I just bought
That's,
the ring.
I don't make
I think
that
it's just
list.
the ring. This ring that I got from you last time is not very useful in combat, but it's still a very nice trinket to possess.
Absolutely. A lot of times butterflies, they ain't exactly formidable in combat, but they are adorable. You know what I like to say? A room full of butterflies is better than a room that ain't full of butterflies.
It's a good saying.
You know, I've heard that saying before.
You'd imagine you wouldn't hear it so often, but I find myself using it at least once a week.
This here hollering poker turned out pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Burb reaches down to his sheath and he like grabs the sword and he barely picks it out and you hear and then he puts it back. And then when he does that, he kind of grimaces like, because Burb has
I thought I was rid of that thing.
Burb has a sword that whenever you unsheath it, it screams and causes damage to him. He's never had to use it except for
He's
to
used
use
it
it
once.
as an alarm system.
Yeah.
He ran through the
bathrooms
mansion
with it, yeah.
Yeah, good times.
Never a good thing to hear screaming coming out of the bathroom.
Especially that type of screaming.
Yeah, Free just looks down and says, "I'm glad you're making good use of it, little man.
What else do you have today, Freegis?
Let me show you. I got quite a list of goodies here. On the table before you, you see kind of a stone carved looking device, a stone with maybe some wood pieces on it. You see a mirror sitting before you. You also see a necklace that looks to be of like the pendant on it is made of interlocked stones. And finally you see a staff on the table made of wood.
Why don't you tell us about these items? They all look very nice. I'm curious to see what they do.
What would you like to hear about first?
What's that necklace
All
do?
of them, please, in any order.
What's that necklace do?
Let me tell you. Let me tell you about this necklace. Hold on. They say this necklace can protect its user. They say those who wear this necklace do not die, but things get pretty hard for them afterwards.
That they don't die.
Yes. Mechanically, this is Keith speaking. Mechanically, this necklace, when worn, it will protect the user by having them turn to stone when reduced to 0 hit points. The user will pop back up to half health or half their hit points after 1d4 days or a restoration spell. After use, roll a d20. 1 through 2, the necklace is destroyed. So there's a
I would not be buying that.
20% chance that it will be destroyed.
If I'm wild shaped and I'm reduced to 0, I turn back into Arlo at full health. Or the health I had before I wild shaped.
Dang, dog, that's cool.
So I don't want to turn to stone. I want to be just regular me.
So
with a stick.
he's holding it for you and he's lifting it and he's putting it on and he's putting it on, taking it off. He puts it on and like stops and like pauses.
How much is it?
It will set you back 50 gold pieces, my friend.
45.
48.
So
Okay. I drive a hard bargain, don't I?
that you do.
What else you got?
What else do I have? What else would you like to hear about? I've got this staff here, I've got this mirror, and I've got this little rock.
Tell me about that staff you got.
This staff is called the
300 minus 48 is
252.
yeah.
This staff is called the Staff of Burning Pants. You might realize why in just a moment. This staff doesn't look like much, does it? But if you, the wielder, shout a lie as you swing it, the end will catch fire for just a few moments, dealing a little bit of fire damage to the target.
Just Pinocchio from Shrek. I'm wearing ladies' underwear. Nothing happens. Are you?
It looks like you most certainly are.
So yes, it is called the Staff of Burning Pants. If you tell a lie when you swing it, it lights on fire and does 1d6 fire damage.
Does it set people's pants on fire?
It could if you hit them in their pants.
Okay, what if they're not wearing pants?
Extra damage.
Yeah, it hurts worse. I don't know.
How much is the cost on that there thing?
This little beauty will set you back a burning 75 gold pieces.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yes, the price is pretty cool, Arlo. I think so. If somebody paid
Yeah,
it.
that's neat.
Anyway, no, I do not wish to buy that. What is the stone? What else is it? Stone in the mirror. What do they do?
The stone. As you see, this seems to be an unassuming stone. This is an old stone-carved device that allows you, the user, to know how deep you are underground, and it will grant you skill in identifying different stone types. It'll be hard to look around in the sun when you have this, when you're holding it. Sorry, it's hard to read the description and simultaneously make something that a character in the world would say. It lets you know how deep you are underground, and it grants proficiency in identifying different types of stone. You have disadvantage on perception checks in sunlight while holding this device.
I do not want that.
Like with it in your inventory or
Just
like on your.
when you're holding it, if you're using it.
Okay, gotcha. How much is that?
It is 30 gold pieces, my friend. If you ever find yourself underground in the rocks, you may need it.
So it tells you how far you're buried up underground?
Yes, sir. It'll tell you how deep you are, and if you ever want to know what you're buried in, it might come in handy.
I'll give you 12 gold pieces because that sounds very useless.
I don't think it's very useless. I'm not going to take 12 gold pieces. Do I look like I'm running a charity here?
Nope.
Well, how come you ain't sold it yet?
How do you know I didn't put it out just today? How do you know I didn't sell everything on my table before you walked up just now?
Never know.
I would be very disappointed if you did that, honestly. What does the mirror do?
The mirror of positive reinforcement. One of my favorites on the table today. This mirror, when you look at it, it will tell you nice things about yourself. Let's see. It also will give you life advice. So your reflection will look back at you, give you the finger gun, tell you something nice about yourself, and your mirrored self always appears to be smiling, even when you're down in the dumps.
So this is like a 24/7 Miss Cleo channel?
Absolutely.
Girl, don't you go marry the fat man. He just wants you for your money.
Yes, sir. Exactly that. Except it's you speaking.
Mechanically?
Mechanically, that is what it does. Mechanically, it doles out positive reinforcement and life advice. Your mirrored self appears to always be smiling.
How much that mirror is?
I'd take 20 gold pieces for it.
I gave 15 for it.
Oh, I'll take that.
Alright.
Is this all that you have today?
Yes, this is all that I have. There are plenty more merchants around, but if you want some magic items, you come to Frigis. But this is all I've got today.
Entertaining as always, Frigis, but sadly I will not be purchasing anything today.
That is all right, my fellow. I hope to have a better stock for you next time, Baldy.
As do I.
You. With the face. With the masked face. Anything else catch your eye? You don't want to pay me? I'd take 20 gold pieces for the Geomancer's glyph.
Because it has a cool name that you did not mention before, I will take it for that.
Sucker for a cool name, eh?
I am.
As am I. If you can believe it, I wasn't born with the name Frigis. I got it from my cold demeanor.
That's...
Is your last name Ilbin?
No, sir. It is not.
You have a very warm and cold demeanor, sir.
That's what they say.
Arlo's just checking himself out in this mirror.
Oh, do you want to hear what it says?
Sure.
What are you currently feeling
You
emotionally
are
right
beautiful.
I'm
Jesus
feeling
loves
like
you.
I just lost a lot of money. Just for reference, I only had 18.
now? Well,
so.
okay. Your reflected self is smiling. It does point finger guns back at you and say, Don't worry, Arlo. You'll get that money back and more with a cool hat like that."
Arlo feels a little bit better.
Good.
It sticks it in this little bag.
Hey, why are you with me? It ain't so bad in here.
You have nice pockets. I like this.
I like this mirror.
But Frigis is out of stuff. He says, "I hope to see you boys next time I see you."
I give him a wave and I start walking away.
He waves you off. Waves you away. He waves
Sounds
you.
good.
What was the ring called that I got? The
Ring of...
Ring of tracking?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
the one I just bought.
Oh,
The
it's
ring
a...
that make you not die.
Oh, that's
it's
called
an
the...
amulet, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, the
amulet.
shielding of stone skin. Pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to carry around a stone jacket at some point. Just after the battle. Oh well, here we go. Fireman's carry.
This is why we have
I guess.
our-
It said restorations things could bring me back, didn't it?
Lesser restoration. I don't know
Yeah,
if I know
we're
that
gonna-
spell.
I don't know if he would have told you that a respiration spell. So when this happens, I don't know if the idea will come directly to your minds like, Oh, a restoration spell will fix this. You can certainly try it.
Wait,
I know exactly what the first attempt's going to be.
Oh, yeah. Chisel him out of there. You just come back with, like, no hand.
yeah, I do not have that spell.
All right.
I got 2 of them anyway.
Oh, no, I do.
What's that? Lesser restoration?
Yeah, I wouldn't take it
Hands.
myself, but it's one of the ones I think that comes from my background.
He said
as a
I'd
cleric.
come back missing a hand. I said, it's okay, I got 2 of them anyway.
But then you can't dual wield your cleavers.
I decided against that anywho.
Okay, cool.
So, it's been a long time since you guys had a long rest. And because of that, Burb has been up for a while. He's been up since... no, you guys had a long
No,
rest
I
in the...
didn't.
Sorry.
I didn't
I'm
know
very
that.
sorry. You did. You guys had a long rest in the forest. So you don't need one. But nearby to you, you have the garden. You have the community garden. It's a couple 100 feet across. The city, the town of Fark seems to be relatively alive. There are a few people who look kind of just upset in this town because you can imagine they might be. It seemed like a culling had just happened based on the fact that they were carting a few people away.
And they don't have a Duke's barbecue.
And they don't have a Duke's barbecue. And Arlo, this is, of course, the town we were talking last episode that your mentor was last known to be at. Briar, your mentor Briar that you care deeply about. There were some gnolls last episode that people were concerned with, all kind of stuff. But you guys haven't spoken to anybody in this town except for Freedis. And Freedis doesn't live here. But you guys are free to do as you please.
I'm still interested in finding those gnolls. But of course,
I got nothing else going on.
I do not know how long we need to wait before Corgus's contact gets in contact with us.
And I don't think Briar would be here in town, so if he'd be anywhere, he'd be out on the outside.
Surely the contact will be here when we get back.
I would at least hope so.
He's meeting us here. There's no reason he wouldn't wait. So I'm okay with proceeding with your plan.
Very well. You said you saw where they went? Or where the last one went, at least?
Indeed I did.
You got a general direction, but you have come out of the forest and into a town since then.
Well, then I'll go right back to where I was and point like a dog.
I mean, you know, generally,
One
the
leg
fucking-
up.
yeah. So that wouldn't necessarily be. You wouldn't have to go to that spot. I'm sure what you mean, though.
Yeah. I can point you in the right direction. He traveled north,
As
south,
you're-
east, west.
As you are making this kind of conversation, you notice someone who has noticed your conversation coming toward you.
Kill him.
We've noticed the noticer.
Yes. Let me find
I noticed.
this information.
I roll to kill.
I couldn't help but notice you noticing this.
What'd you roll?
19. He died.
I'm gonna pretend that didn't happen because
Walking this way and just drops.
I know that you didn't do that on purpose, or you weren't intending to do that. It's actually a dragonborn.
Hey,
This dragonborn is wearing a leather vest with a star on it. He looks to be a man of authority. He looks like he could be the sheriff.
is his name Rango?
No. It's his name. I wish everybody could have seen Zenas' face when he's made that comment because it is.
It was adorable.
I mean, the only way to describe it was cute.
Yeah, that's.
It was a cute face. So
I didn't want to be the first to say it, but
yeah. So this man, this dragonborn, walks towards you and he says, "You guys look new in town. Talking about gnolls."
yeah, we just got in here, met a couple gnolls on the way in. Y'all gonna have a problem with them?
He says, "Excuse me, it's rude of the sheriff of the town not to introduce himself. My name is
New in town, he says.
my name is Ognon.
Or non?
Ognon."
Stick out
no.
my hand and
All right.
shake it.
He shakes it with the dragonborn vigorously.
Without waiting, just stick up my hand and shake it.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Yeah. He shakes your hand.
Nice to meet you, Ognon. My name is Grim.
Good to meet you, Grim. The others, who are you?
My name's Arlo.
Good to
Hey,
meet
you hadn't
sir.
seen a dwarven Druid fella around here, have you?
Well, there are many dwarves who pass through here, and I don't know which of them are druids and which of them are not.
Fair
but
enough.
are you talking about... What does this one look like?
You'd seen him coming. He's big. He's a big man.
he puts out his arms and kind of waddles
Keep going.
a little,
Keep going.
a little bit, and he says, "You mean like this big?"
18-wheel cart driver.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right, that's silly. So
Almost wide as he is tall.
oh, you're speaking about Briar.
Yes.
Yes, we know Briar.
Where's he at?
Huh. By the way, nice to meet you, man in black. You look familiar.
There we go. I've lived here for many years until recent
Are
times.
you wearing your mask?
Yeah.
Then that's why you look. You don't look like. Let me see what's behind that mask.
I don't feel comfortable removing my mask right now. I will like kind of look up so that like my eyes are clearly visible under the brim of my hat.
He says,
You ever been to the butcher shop down the corner?
"Yes, I have. It's been boarded up for several months now."
Yes, ever since the murder. I'm Jack. That was my wife.
Wow.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
We're dropping a lot on this poor guy.
We all are.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
We all are. I only told him my name.
What happened?
Yeah,
if
with the handshake,
don't-
my
you-
God.
What happened if you don't mind me asking?
I'm sure you know of the Cullings, do you not?
Yes, of course. We just had the orcs pass through and take 3 of our good workers this afternoon.
Well, when she was being taken, I was not happy about it, as you, I'm sure, understand.
I do.
I tried to stop them from taking her, and it just turned ugly after that.
We've learned to just go with it at this point. There's not a lot we can do. There's not many of us in town that are A, willing to overpower a battalion of orcs, and B, capable. So I'm very sorry to hear about your wife. They don't seem to care about the well-being of those they cull.
No, they do not. And there is some things that can be done about it.
Did we know this? Did you tell Gnome?
No, you did not.
You did not know that.
I'm just.
You do have a slight inkling that I've been murderizing orcs in my spare time.
Grim is fine with that. I'm just like
Just
looking
a
at you
little.
though. Just.
I probably don't notice that because I'm.
I mean, it's not in
Stuck in
any
gum
specific way. I'm just like I'm
Yeah.
paying attention to what you're saying.
As you're saying all this,
Arlo takes off his hat and he goes to shake Jack's hand. He's like, "Jack, I'm sorry for your loss, man. Why didn't you tell us before now?"
It just never came up, Arlo. It's not something I like to talk about.
Fair enough. I can understand.
as y'all are having that conversation, Bird reaches up to your arm and he like grabs it, and you hear him say, "Come on, friend."
I pat him on the head. Thank you, Bird.
He's cool with that.
Bird really carries the team.
Yeah, he does. Bird puts the team on his back. That's not true. But Argnon is standing there, and he's like a red-colored dragonborn, and he says, "Yeah, that also stuff. We mentioned that some things that typically apply in normal D&D worlds may not apply here. Some things don't always have to be evil. It's the main meat of that. So,
Speaking of which, has the mighty handshake ended?
Yeah, that ended.
yeah, we've had a lot of
Okay.
conversation. So Argnon says, "Jack, I'm very sorry. So are you moving back in to boot the old butcher shop up? I haven't had meat like yours in a long time."
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Meat is no longer on the
You ever been standing in front of a bus and then you realize that bus is just moving too fast and I can't get out of the way, so you just have to say the thing about the meat. Anyway, he does say that. There isn't any laughter involved, hopefully. And
Slight twinkle of the eye.
he says, "Well, that's all right. Briar, was it? We were talking about Briar.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in a few days, actually.
Where last you seen him?
Here in the garden, he used to come and help one of the ladies of the town with the garden. He loved plants, and it would make sense that he was a druid because of that. I know Clara in the garden tend to spend a good amount of time with him.
Clara.
Sounds important.
I immediately start looking around for anybody that
But-
might look like Clara.
Before, And as you look around, he says, she's probably in the garden actually right now. She doesn't do much besides work in the garden during the day.
I'm headed that way.
You could probably find her that way. So Arlo leaves the conversation. But
like, while he's talking, I'm heading that way.
Arlo,
She's always around. Okay, you're gone.
So Argnon continues talking. He says, kind of short attention span that one, fellas.
He's all right.
He is supremely focused on finding his old master.
What does this Clara woman look like?
She's just a kind of a regular young woman. She's got blonde hair and looks fairly normal. She's always carrying a little satchel full of herbs and seeds and different tools for gardening, and she spends most of her time just inside tending to the fruit plants of the garden. But the reason I came over here, I don't like to usually interrupt citizens. I tend to try to be involved in people's lives, but I don't usually like to interrupt. But I heard you mention gnolls.
Yes.
As of late, that has become a very important thing to me, our gnoll problem.
So it is a problem. We were correct in attacking them.
It has become somewhat of a problem. You see, it was, I believe, maybe a couple months ago. A couple of hunters we're a big hunting community here in Fark, Jack. You know this, but Grim, you're a newcomer. We're a very big hunting community. We tend to go into the wildwood and hunt frequently. And some hunters went out and in search of some children that hadn't come home recently, and they found 3 children dead in the forest. And it seemed, based on the evidence, that it was gnolls that were up to it. So, as
Arlo's walking away, he hears this, he stops, and he comes back.
Okay. Well, welcome back, Arlo. I was just telling your friends here that the Gnoll, we think gnolls had killed a few children, and these hunters, without coming back to me, the sheriff, or to tell the mayor or anything that what had gone down, they went immediately. And they waited for a gnoll hunting party because there's a community of gnolls in the forest, and usually we've had a decent amount of peace. They don't typically attack any of us from the town without provocation, but something must have snapped, and these hunters took it upon themselves to go and wait for a gnoll hunting party, and they typically take out their young ones to teach them how to hunt, one-on-one, mother and the child, going out to hunt. They did what they... There's a car outside with music playing. These hunters did what the gnolls did to us, and they waited for the child to separate himself, and they took matters into their own hands, and ever since then, we've been trading kills and dealing with gnoll attacks and really hunter attacks from our side on either side, and it's just been quite a difficult situation. So, were you attacked by gnolls in the forest?
No, gnolls were attacking an owlbear, and we interceded. Tell me, do you know where the gnoll camp is?
No, they tend to roam. They tend to do some roaming around, so they don't stay in one place too terribly long. So they're deep in the forest, and journeying there is sort of difficult for just normal folk like us. A lot of the hunters in town aren't particularly magical, aren't particularly affluent with any sort of strengthening anything. We just take our bow and our swords, and we go out and we bring back meat for our families. So yes, none of us have gone out there, and most people tend to just try to keep clear, but we have some men in the town that aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to keep the peace. Taking children is quite an offense, as I'm sure you all well know.
Well, gnolls were taking children, but the hunters, they were taking gnoll children as well.
Absolutely. Like I say, I don't condone this behavior, but sometimes you have to let men get some things out of their system, After all, they are gnolls. They're not people.
Huh. Y'all ought to be better than that.
I am going to get to the bottom of this.
Well, I'm spread fairly thin here with all these issues, and
Jack, get my shovel.
I've got, with the cullings and everything, there are people who need my help, so I can't exactly mount a party to go in after the gnolls. So if that's something you want to take up, we would appreciate that as a town, as long as you don't cause any trouble doing it. What do you all do, by the way? Do you travelers, or what are you?
I am a former member of the LID. If you are not familiar with that, the lonesome.
Former.
Yes, I left
Mm.
recently.
I came to see my friend Jack's hometown.
I came to show my friend Arlo my hometown.
Roll persuasion. I mean, I guess that's what you're doing.
13.
He.
With advantage, can I back him up? With
Yeah,
that?
you can. You just smile there.
It's a creepy.
Yeah, you beat him. It's I don't. Yeah, it's not. You aren't intentionally persuading, but it is. Your look in your eye gave me like I'm trying to do something, so I just went with the roll. But he said, "Oh, very well. You're staying here for a while."
Yes, in the Gilded Gardener.
Ah, okay. Very well, very well. I appreciate that. I'll send up a few gold coins from the city purse to your room so that you guys can have some funds to get anything you might want to use against these gnolls if you do decide to do that. Also, if you could find Briar, even a few days without Briar in town, the fruit begins to taste less sweet and the vegetables begin to taste a little less nutritious from the garden.
He's a good man, but he can take care of himself. I want to try to see if we can get to the bottom of this children thing first.
Very well.
Indeed. I reach out my hand to shake his, and I say,
He shakes.
I'd be shake, said man.
thank you for your assistance. Is it Argonon or Argnon?
Argnon.
Argnon. Thank you for your assistance, Argnon.
You are absolutely welcome, and thank you for your assistance. And I know it's a strange situation, and I can't condone all of it, but I do appreciate your help.
I want to indicate to him, hey, bend down.
He bends way on down.
We're happy to help, but I want you to be clear. If I see any of your people going after any Gnome children, I won't hesitate either. Children are off limits. Children's children.
He gives you a contemplative nod, confused at why you're concerned with Gnoll children. And then this man doesn't seem like a particularly evil or selfish man, but he does give you a kind of a confused nod at why you would care so much. And he says, "All right, whatever you say. Good day, fellows. Good day. It was a pleasure speaking with you. And like I say, welcome to our town. You don't cause any trouble here. We won't cause any trouble for you." And he turns and walks away with his red dragonborn tail, walking away. The garden is near you. North of town would be where the western wildwood begins. He's going back to his office to authorize some gold to be sent up to your room, wherever that is at the Gilded Gardener. You're free to do whatever you want, have whatever conversation, whatever. That was a long exhale or inhale.
I'm down for whatever you guys want to do. Arlo, I'm aware that you have a lead on Briar here, but as you said, the children seem to take precedence over a man fully capable of caring for himself and who seems to be in good enough health to help these people.
Yeah, if he's been here helping people, then obviously he's doing all right. He's here for a reason, and he's a big man. He's a big man. He can take care of himself, but children's a different story. I say let's go ahead and get out there.
I agree. Jack, lead on, please.
And I swoosh in the direction I know to go.
Okay, so as you're on the way out of town,
What's Bird think about all this?
Burb has just been listening, kind of following along. He's just hanging out with you guys. He kind of matches the way you guys respond. Whoever from your party is speaking, he kind of matches their demeanor. When you're upset about this whole children thing, he kind of leans in like, yeah, I agree. But also when Jack and Grim are talking, he's trying to, mimic them and match their movements and feelings as well. So you guys are walking out. Brice, Jack, on your way out of town, if that is where y'all are going out of town, on your way out, you see on your left as you pass by it, you see your old butcher shop. You can see, you walk down the street, you know it very well. But you walk past and you can see the yard, or you walk past your actual house, and then kind of down a few buildings, whatever. You see the butcher's house. So you walk past the yard where your wife was killed. You walk past that very same yard where you killed your first orc and did all these dirty things. And you pass your butcher shop, which is, the windows have been boarded up and it's been closed down and things are kind of dilapidated in there as you pass by.
Cool. I'm pretty much just pass it by without looking at it until it's like just barely still in the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna just kind of take one glance at it and keep going.
Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, so you guys walk out of town, and you are approaching the tree line, I guess, heading towards where Jack seems to think they have been going. Are you guys you guys are kind of probably tracking gnolls at this point, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Works for me.
Roll. You're not a wolf anymore. Roll survival if you will.
Roll for the gnome.
16.
14.
18.
That is some perfect rolling, boys and girls. Grim and...
Real quick. Yeah, I'll do it. I would like to ready an action, I guess. Have one ready if you can do that out of combat.
I don't think you can. Because then you have to go into combat for that to start happening, I guess? Or what is it, I guess?
What is the action?
Yeah.
If we get into combat, I want to just go ahead and swoosh into my... I forgot what it's called.
Your transformation thing?
Necrotic Shroud.
Okay, so we will just say that does happen on your turn. So if you prepare...
Well, that's why a readied action, you use your reaction right before your turn.
Okay.
That's
I don't think you can ready an action before combat. Y'all let me know. I don't... If you're listening...
Give up
it
your
says,
reaction?
Yeah, it says as an action in combat, but... So we can stick with that.
I'm okay with him doing it if you want to put it to a vote.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, if you want to
thematically, yeah.
If you want to say as soon as combat begins, you do that. I'd say that's fine.
Or we could have you do that, but like push you to the end of the whatever order we get set in. If you're okay with that.
No, we'll just do it in combat. That's fine.
Okay, that'll work.
We'll see. I mean, I think that's fine if you want to say that whenever. I mean, I really don't think you can do it outside of combat because everybody else is because it is an action in combat. I mean, I think we'll just say on your turn you'd have to do it. I think that makes sense. I think that's a good call on the rules. Sticklers in the audience, let us know if I'm doing that improperly. So, you guys, but these rules are really good survival wise. Grim and Jack Law. You guys can see the rustling and you can actually see some gnoll tracks. They're pretty sparse, but based on what you saw earlier in the forest, based on the footprints that you saw, you can kind of track a little bit of the movement of some gnolls, and you can see they kind of all head off into one direction. Except some of them also head off in another direction because Arlo, you smell something very familiar to yourself. You smell something from your past. You smell
Briar sweat.
A briar smell. You smell the smell of his pipe because he used to smoke a pipe with his own personal blend of sage and dried apples and some other mullein spice.
Melon stuff.
I forget I don't know how you pronounce that, but he has a personal blend of stuff that he smokes. And you can just barely and faintly smell this smell, and it's kind of going off in the same direction as these other tracks.
I want to see if I can follow that odus.
Okay. Well, luckily, it all kind of goes the same way, and you follow it. You follow it through the forest. The forest begins to get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Y'all following me?
Yep.
Deeper. The forest gets thicker and deeper, and you guys are getting. Yeah, I'm getting a phone call, but it's no big deal. I'll have to call Brandon back. If you're a Tank Media Network fan, that is Brandon Lorick, co-founder, co-owner, calling me. Business stuff, but we got business stuff happening right now. So you guys follow the trail through the forest. And approaching kind of a clearing, you see a tent, a camp. And Arlo, this camp looks very similar to the way you and Briar used to set up camp.
I'm running in.
There's a fire that is not lit. There's smoke just barely wisping off the fire. Actually, there's no smoke. Excuse me. There seems to be a fire that was made a couple days ago, but there's no smoke coming from it. And the camp looks fairly empty, but it does look like a briar camp.
I'm running in.
All right, you sprint into the camp. Let me tell you what happens. Let me make sure I described everything properly.
This is all the music that's coming from out of the tent.
Roll perception for me before you sprint.
Nat 37. No, I'm kidding. 15.
You can hear and smell some non-briar smells from the tent. They smell gnollish. As you approach, you can see kind of some movement, like the tent is billowing a little bit as you can hear the sounds of someone kind of rifling through things inside, and it smells gnollish.
Want to kind of like stealth up to the entrance and see what's happening?
You can roll stealth.
While he's doing that, Brandon was calling because he's trying to book the creator of Axe Cop for your show.
Yeah, so let me respond to that text.
Please hold. How y'all doing?
Cool, we're good. Sorry. I'm here. I'm present.
We're good.
We got important stuff. Got a booking celebrities for shows. I'm just kidding. You roll a 19 against his passive percept, which is gonna be. That's definitely gonna do it. By the way, you are stealth. So you stealth up to this tent. What are you other boys doing?
Do we notice him go stealth?
You see him start to sneak.
Doesn't matter. Do we see his intended destination? I guess is more.
Yes, you are. He arrives first, but you're kind of behind him in the tree line.
I'm gonna go in the opposite direction.
Okay.
But to the same target.
Okay, so you all starting at the same place.
So if he's going right, I'm going left. But
okay,
you want to come up like behind the tent, like circle around,
like on the other side of you, basically.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay exactly where I am, but I'm also gonna stealth, and I'm just gonna wait and see what Arlo does.
Okay, Burb is staying with you. Grim, he's gonna try to hide with you.
I stepped on a thorn and shouted at the top of my lungs.
Did you crit fail?
But luckily I have inspiration. And I got a 18.
Okay, you definitely stealth.
No, 19. Sorry.
Burb does not stealth though. Burb is
playing with
whatever Burb does is gonna make noise. He's not moving right now, but Burb is not gonna be able to be stealthy.
He's gonna make bird noises.
Yep. Okay, so Arlo, when you peek into the tent as kind of Grim comes up around closer by, but you get some time before he approaches without being stealthy. You see a Gnoll kind of rifling through what you know to be Briar's stuff, and Briar is not in there. Briar is either gone somewhere, or he's just not in this tent, and there's a Gnoll in there kind of like ripping through his stuff.
Hey, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm rifling through this fat dwarf stuff.
Fat
What are you
dwarf,
doing?
Where's he at?
We have him back at camp, but doesn't matter because I'm going to kill you here, you little thing.
Roll initiative with this Gnoll.
19.
Crit.
Crit what?
Fail?
Crit success.
Okay.
+1.
This is a good moment for you.
It is a good moment.
Alright, so it's going to be Arlo first, and then Grim, what'd you roll?
No.
There's still one.
No, he rolled a 20.
Okay.
Huh? Well, I went to grab it, and I did like that, and it landed on 19. I was just going to go with that. And I was like, that's not really a roll. So I rolled it again, and it was a nat 20.
That's fine.
I was like, he just got a nat 20. I don't want to roll against
both,
him.
both of you guys roll another d20. I'm
Alright.
sorry.
Just a straight 20?
Yeah.
Alright. 4.
Alright, so Jack's 20 is better than Arlo's 20. Grim, what'd you roll?
19.
A 19. Okay, so again, you all go before the Gnoll. So
That'd have a bad
in our
day.
Jag order, it would have to be Jack.
Indeed. I'm just gonna ready an action.
Okay.
If the Gnoll tries to break for it and leave the tent, I'm gonna chop him goodly
Chopping good.
with my booming blade, and that's all I'm gonna do.
All right, you're gonna chop him again. Sorry, we're got business texting going on, and I apologize. So you're gonna ready a chop. You are probably about 30 feet away, I guess. So you'd have to use your movement to, if he does what, you're gonna chop him.
He's gonna if he leaves the tent. I'll get closer, and I can dash as a bonus action.
You're stealth. So if you want to get over there as well.
Also,
What?
It's reaction before the start of your turn. So you use the reaction, then you'd still have your next turn to do stuff.
Oh.
And he's going last, so he would move. You take a reaction, then you take your turn. So he's not going to get away from you.
Okay.
So you stealth over there, and you're ready for it to come. If he comes out the tent, you go and chop him. So you're nearby to the tent. That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, you're nearby to the tent. I just didn't think you can take movement speed with a reaction.
With a ready in action, you
Or
can.
okay.
Or I think it might. I don't know. Either way, whatever.
You're by the. We'll be
close.
Yeah, we're close to the tent. You're stealth. He can't see you anyway. I need to roll Bourbon to the initiative.
I'm a stealthy fellow.
Dang, Bird, crushing it. Wait, what's? Wow. Grim, Burb's going before you, my dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Javik.
Alright, so Arlo, it is your turn, sir.
It is Arlo's turn. All right, I want to cast my new toy, Flame Blade.
Flame Blade.
Flame Blade.
Tell me what happens.
You evoke a fiery blade in your free hand. The blade is similar in size and shape to a scimitar. Lasts for the duration. If you let it go, the blade disappears, but if you can evoke it again with a bonus action. Make a melee roll. On a hit, 3d6 fire damage.
Alright, so melee rolling.
And it's bright light within 10 foot and dim light another 10 feet. So, 7 to hit.
Oh, that is going to miss.
Right.
So you swipe at him with, and the flame blade is not in your hand, or is it in your hand?
It's in my free hand.
Okay,
so I don't have anything in my hand, so.
You swipe at the Gnoll, but he is able to get back a little bit and dodge your blade.
Right. I want
Flame
to
blade.
address the Gnoll.
Sure.
All right, you better start talking. We might let you out of here.
We? Who's we? Looks
Don't worry
like just
about
a
that.
gnome in front of me.
All right, who's next?
It is Burb's turn. And Burb.
Combat's over. 3 seconds later.
No. Burb doesn't have a whole lot of options. Burb
has a look of resigned pity on his face
No.
as he unsheaths his blade.
No, yeah. Burb is about to. He doesn't like this, but he's going to look at because as Arlo is kind of stealthing and hiding, and he hears the Burb hears all this altercation coming from in the tent. He wants the assailant in the tent to know there's much more outside, so he just unsheathes his blade, and you hear and he takes some damage. He takes his 1 point of mental damage from that sonic damage. And the gnome does go,
What's going on out there? What's out there?
he says that to you, because he doesn't know what's going on, and it is Grimly's turn.
I'm gonna walk around to where I can see him, and I'm gonna cast Hold Person on him.
Hold
So
person.
he's gonna make a Wisdom saving throw. Choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration.
He failed. He
Cool,
paralyzed.
he's
for the
paralyzed.
duration.
You have a right to remain silent.
So as he points and says, "What's going on out there?" He locks with his finger pointed
I just
directly.
step around the thing. He can at the end of each of its turns, the target can make another Wisdom saving throw on a success. Spell ends.
Okay.
So do you care to start talking now?
Can he talk while he's paralyzed?
I guess, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let me look at the condition. He can understand. I'm sure.
Yeah, he can understand. So we're gonna say he can't move at all if he's paralyzed. I guess we should probably check the condition.
Right at condition page. Paralyzed. Incapacitated, can't move or speak.
There we go. So he just we'll say all he gets is eye movement. He brings his eyes fearfully over there toward you.
Well, that did not go as planned. He can't take actions or reactions. That's what incapacitated means.
Gotcha.
Automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls have advantage, and any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. So,
Ooh. So he's gonna roll his wisdom saving throw to try to get out, because he can't do anything else with his turn. Will a 5 do it?
no, it won't.
Check his modifiers.
No. The modifiers will do nothing but it's a wisdom?
Yep.
Yeah, so that doesn't change it. So he
It's
like
actually -5.
you can see him just like trembling and like his eyes are almost rolling back in his head. He's trying to get out so firmly.
Yes.
Okay.
Skadoosh.
Jack, your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
You guess you can't see this going on.
I'm in front of the thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're probably not sitting directly in front of the tent because
Oh, I am.
because you could
I'm
be
sitting.
seen. You're hidden stealth, I
Yeah.
guess. So you're probably peeking in. Nothing.
You can see.
There's not much I can do here.
Okay. You still want to be silent and stealthy.
Can I?
What are you doing?
I was gonna perception around to see if Burb's screaming blade called any reinforcements, but my 5 did not really.
Not immediately. You don't see that happening because he doesn't have. He just like it was a quick thing. He put it back in.
Okay.
You don't have a constant whistling going on.
Okay. So he is like frozen right now.
He is. Yep. It's Arlo's turn.
Can't say very much now, can you?
No, he can't. But you could
He can still die.
tie him up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We're probably gonna have to. All right, so I let go of my blade and it disappears. So
The blade dissipates from your hand.
and I do think that's the best course of action. Let's strap him down to a tree or something.
I got 50 feet of rope.
Y'all gonna have this conversation?
Yeah.
You could tie him up if you want to. He can't speak right now, unfortunately.
You know, that's a pretty good idea. Greg.
I didn't think about that when I cast the spell. It's first cast, I'll admit.
I say we rope him up to a tree. He's still pointing.
Yeah. Okay.
So like 2 trees next to each other. We just rope his hand to another side of the tree.
Yeah, just walk up to him like, oh, you want that tree? Okay.
All right. So it'll take an action to pick him up and take him to a tree.
I can do it.
Bird.
Yeah, Bird's on it. So
Arlo's like 60 pounds and
So-
like 3 feet tall.
So Arlo, I guess you probably with Grimm's help, you could take him
Yeah.
to. We'll
So
say
you roll? Or do you want me to roll?
You roll and I'll help.
Okay.
They accidentally timed the Jack.
Oh no, yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to
That was
roll
a-
to pick
that
him up and
was a
take him over
20.
there. Yeah, he's not.
We're good.
Yeah, you guys pick him up and take him to a tree, and you tie.
Just toss him outside.
Do roll to see. Bird's gonna help you tie him up. One of you, or maybe y'all can help the Bird, but he's gonna try to tie him up. Dang, Bird's good with the rope. Bird rolled like over a. We'll say I don't know what rope tying would be. We'll call that dexterity. So he rolled like a 22 to tie him up. So the Gnoll is obviously tied very tight to this tree.
With a big bow.
And he's going to take one last turn to try to wisdom out of this paralysis, and he's going to roll a 2. That's some good Gnoll wisdom rolls.
Okay.
So
Small little fart escapes.
yeah, he is tied to the tree, and he's tied to the tree very well. So I'm going to say that combat is over.
Okay.
Good work, everybody.
I'm going right back into the tent. I'm looking around for any indication about what might have happened here.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to Burb.
Okay.
So whichever one you
So
want.
let's do Arlo first, real quick. So Arlo, you go into the tent, and as you search in the tent, you see a number of things. One of those things is you see Briar's journal that he kept, that he keeps kind of his writings and stuff in. As well, you see on the floor near the outside of the tent, you see one single red flower. And within that journal, we'll say you open it, and you do see a note written, almost like a letter that was being written, but it was never sent. But it says, Arlo, if you receive this letter, finish helping whoever you are helping in Lonesome, then make your way to Fark. I may have been too hasty in separating us, and I miss you. Your laughter around the campfire kept my spirits high, but now the silence of the forest and the crackling of the logs do little more than remind me of your absence. I'm camped in the wildwood north of Fark. Find me there, and we will return to do-gooding here on the mainland. I trust that no harm has befallen you, and that your spirit has not been sullied by the big city. See you soon, Briar.
Just Arlo, you doing okay? Yeah, I'm okay.
And then one of the
Actually, Arlo still can't read. So can we get a Burb to read this, or a Jack, or a Grim?
Yeah,
I
you
forgot
can.
that you can't read. Okay, so I'll read that. Well, whenever you ask somebody to read that, that's what it says.
It's like written in crayons, like little pictograms and stuff.
What you reading, Arlo? I wish I knew.
But on the ground, it looks like there's quite a
Kerfluffle.
no an assault.
These kerfuffles are getting out of hand.
A kidnapping. You can see big dwarf feet ruts in the ground where he was like dragged off by
It's like a foot
80 gnolls. No, he's not that fat. But that's pretty much all you see. You see that flower. You see the journal and the.
If he was an
obvious.
inch taller, he'd be round.
Yep.
It's
That's how I initially described it.
it's obvious that he was kidnapped.
Okay. All right, so they read the thing off to me, and then
Yeah.
All right, so I want to pick up the flower. I'm gonna stick that into the little brim I had. So.
All right. Cool.
And I'm taking the journal back from whoever read it to me. I'm putting it inside my hat.
I mean, Jack, did you read it to him?
I'm still outside.
Yeah, I'm still about to talk to Burb.
Yeah, let's handle that for you. We decide who reads for you. Burb, you talking to Burb?
Burb, do you still have that slave ring?
Slave ring? What slave ring?
Controls the
the slave controller ring.
You get because it was given to him.
Mm.
Ring, and he like picks it out of his pocket, and he said he's wary about giving it to someone because he knows that it was what used to control him as a slave, like to keep that thing on or whatever. But he does slowly hand it over.
I take it and I say, "Thank you, Burb. I promise you can trust me."
He says, "Give back when done."
Can I buy it from you?
Why?
Can't afford it, little man.
I put it on and I put the slave collar on the Gnoll.
Oh. Burb is really cool with that. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's fine. You keep."
Thank you,
I
Burb.
can see Bird not saying anything. But, like, you never noticed up to this time, but he's got a mouthful of pearly white teeth. You good?
Just like, yeah.
Okay, so you put the collar
There's
on.
a sound effect.
Ching. So it should be said that I guess the ring was more of like I don't think it was like a robot control. It was just like to keep them docile, I guess, a little bit.
That'll work.
Okay. So what is it like? Does it hurt them upon activation, or
I think it's kind of like you can like maybe like shock collar them a little bit.
just come on? All right. So I do that. I say thank you, Burb, and then I wink at the Gnoll and walk back to the tent.
His eyes are like really wide. He's not happy about this. You still stealth? You still hiding?
Yeah,
I'm not stealthed anymore.
Okay.
I'm just like whatever tree I was hiding behind. I'm now kind of
the one we tied the Gnoll up to.
That's what I was saying. I'm like hidden so well you accidentally tied him to me. No, I'm just like leaned up against the tree, sitting down, got one knee up.
Cool.
Look like I'm about to start reading a book if I had one.
Cool. You're a cool dude.
I am.
Can I bring Jack the book?
Yeah.
The journal?
You can.
Jack, I still have trouble with these words. Can you inform me what this is?
Absolutely, Arlo. Didn't I agree to like teach you how to read or something?
One of y'all did.
I think so. I think we both kind of were like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
We can call this a teaching moment if you like.
Okay.
Read
Then
after me.
I'm gonna teach you how to read the word briar. But seriously, I do think that would be important for you to be able to recognize his name.
My
Yeah.
mind is blown.
Okay.
So I do that.
He do that.
So you're inching along. You know one word.
Hey.
Well, then Briar and Arlo, I suppose.
Cool.
Okay. So he reads me the info and everything, right? So
Yeah.
we don't need to go back through all of it, but yeah. Cool.
I will repeat it from memory.
Okay.
I want to go and find where these Gnoll folks are and get my briar back.
Well, Arlo, I think I can help you out with that. And I like clench and unclench the fist with the ring. I've got the.
Yeah, he's shaking with pain, but he can't move.
Actually, like clenching and unclenching, he like starts and stops breathing like the Darth Vader choke.
That's how you activate it?
Sure.
I just
This is not an item that I spent a lot of time on when I made it.
realized that and I stopped. I'm like, oh, sorry. Arlo, would you care to interrogate our new companion.
I'll do my best.
He's like really vibrating at this point.
I mean, I'll just drop the spell.
Okay, so his arm drops down or whatever. Or, no, you probably moved him and posed him, so he's tied to a tree. And his like head, he says,
Well, you got me tied to a tree. Let me go. We'll kill you all. We'll kill all of you. You're from the town, aren't you?
Now, no dirty words.
Grim, I'm sure there won't be no need for that. Can you tell us where they've taken this big fella?
Yes. No. I won't tell you where we took him.
I think you probably could tell us where you took him.
Shock.
let's roll for. I'm gonna roll Constitution against your Intimidation. How about that?
Okay. So I guess he's rolling with advantage with help.
Sure, yeah.
21.
So yeah, you give him another shot.
Okay, we took him to our camp. We need him.
Where's the camp?
I won't tell you that.
I raise my hand up to his face, like right here. Are you sure?
Wait, Grim, what do you need him for?
Oh, what? Oh, you asked me. You said wait, Grim. I thought you were addressing Grim.
Wait before you zap his brains out.
He's going to help us destroy Fark.
Why?
Could be worse.
That's, why? You say why?
Mm-hmm.
Says, because they've killed too many of us, and we're gonna make them pay.
Didn't you kill their children first?
No, we didn't kill their children.
Who did?
I don't know. Do you think we managed as far as to stop shocking me, please?
I have. It's not like a constant.
I know.
I want to roll insight to see
twice,
if he's lying or not.
Okay.
That will no. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. A 7.
I also want to know if he's lying. Ooh, I'd know.
What he's lying about?
If he's
Specifically,
if he killed those children, that's
Okay.
that's what I wanted to figure out. He said he's not.
Yeah. So he's not. If he's not, he doesn't seem to be lying. He seems to be very genuine. He's a man being shot. He seems like you to your eyes and ears, it doesn't seem like he is being untruthful to you.
Arlo purposefully didn't want to check that because he just doesn't care. So.
He doesn't care. Hold on.
He is single-mindedly. He just wants to find Brian.
Okay, so yeah, but the question at hand was, did you kill the children, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I thought you put Briar on the back burner because children were number one priority.
But it's
but now
right
he's found
in
the-
front of us.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like, okay, there, where?
Yeah.
Well, this certainly is a conundrum. I suspect we will find more answers when we get to Briar's location. Gnoll.
He says,
You're probably too late.
Where is
because he's probably already woken it up.
and that is where we'll end today's episode. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope that was enough of a cliffhanger for you. Please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes if you enjoy the show. If you're enjoying anything about us, please be sure to follow us on Twitter at Tank Media Games. And if you really love the show, you want to help us make it better, you want to help us do it full time, give us $1,000 a month, or $2,000 or $5,000 a month at patreon.com/tankmedianetwork. But really, if you do really like what we do and you want to be involved in a financial way, you can go as low as $1 or 50 cents per month if you'd like at patreon.com/tankmedianetwork. But in the meantime, we hope sincerely from all four of us Dungeon Boys that you've been enjoying the show. Please stick around with us. We hope it gets better from here.
Brought to you by Duke's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Hey.
Tastiest pork ever been pulled.
We love you and Duke's Barbecue very much.